Hello everyone, it's Ellen, and today in my journal I am doing a multiple photo spread. Now, if you've been here before, you're probably thinking, what on earth are you talking about? Because all of my layouts or spreads or journal entries have tons of photos. Mine are always photo heavy, they always will be. I love all of the photos that I take, I print them all out and I want them all in my journal. But what I mean today is when you've got lots of photos of random days. So I'll usually journal about, if we've gone out for the day, and there'll be lots of photos all of the same place. But what I'm talking about here is when I've got sort of one photo from one thing we did, one photo from a bit of cake that we had, a photo from 2 weeks later when Theo's done a funny face and things like that. So they each have a really small story, not enough to warrant sort of whole spreads about them, but I want to document them. So we'll get to that a bit later, but first I'm going to talk about just this one photo that I've got here, and it's of Theo sleeping. This is how he sleeps, completely spread-eagled, starfishing. He has a single bed now that he's bigger, and he just seems to take up all of it. Even in the night when he creeps into our bed, he takes up so much room, and this is why. It's because he sleeps completely starfished out. And yeah, I snapped a photo and it's really cute. So I wanted to do the first page just sort of about that. So I've got this gorgeous Maggie Holmes pattern paper that I'm using as a background. I've then added a layer of vellum on the top just to dull down the background a little bit, where I'm then going to stick another patterned image with the frame on. So it just sort of blurs that flora out just a bit, enough for me to add another pattern on the top because I've got the frame of the picture of Theo. If that makes sense, it just makes it not so busy on the eye. And inside that frame was a little flag that says "to the moon," so I cut that out and I've stuck that underneath, and I think it looks really cute. I love this little page. I've added a couple of gold hearts, and yeah, I love the design of this. I did sew round two edges of the vellum as well, just to make sure it's secure, and vellum can be hard to stick down. I stuck a bit of double-sided tape where I knew the photo was going to go so it would hide it, and then the rest of it is just sewn down. So here we are with my multiple photos from random days. Again, I'll say it again, I've said it before, but if you can see washi tape on my photos, that's because there are other people in it. So if it's my immediate family or Theo, then I'll show their face, but other people I will hide their face just for their privacy, really, and it doesn't matter to the journaling. You can always look at Theo's beautiful face anyway. So I've gone through some frames there of the Heart and Home Cocoa Vanilla Studio. It's the most recent one that I've brought anyway, and I'm going to use a couple of frames. I'm then going through this journal pad. I've got one from Maggie Holmes and one from Jen Hadfield actually, and they are beautiful. I love them. What a great idea these are. And some of them have sort of frames. So I think I used two, and I just cut out the middle and yeah, use them as a little photo frame. So I'm going through the pictures, deciding what I want to do with each one, and then I will stick said frames onto said photos so that you don't have to watch me do all of that, and then I can stick them all down. So all of these photos will be taken in the month of March. So I know they're all around the same time, but like I said, they're all from different days, all from different stories. So I tend to have a fold out page like I'm working on this one here, and I'll just stick them all down, and then I'll add like number stickers or little labels under each one and have a little bit of journaling about each one, so they all come together in the design and the fact that they're all in the same month, but they are individual stories on their own. I hope at the end you'll see a bit more what I'm talking about. I wanted to add a little bit of interest with adding some of these photos overlapping the fold out piece. So I've got a strip of 2 photos and I've curved the edges of the left hand side of those photos. I've then stuck them down with a little bit overhanging, about 1.5 centimetres probably. And then on the back side I've done the same but opposite. So I've got 2 photos, I've rounded both edges on the right side, and then I'm going to stick them, and it's almost like a tab of the photos. So like a really large tab, just adds a bit of interest to the page. I also add a tab. So I've got one of the paper repacks from Maggie Holmes. I can't remember, I think this one's something Midnights. I can't remember what they're all called because they're not in their packaging anymore. But if you want to know, I can try and find it for you. And in that paper repack, they've got some tab stickers and some ephemera pieces and things that I'm going to use today. So I used 2 of the tab stickers and stuck them back to back, and it just makes a bit more interest on that fold flip out edge. Yeah, it just adds a bit of interest. I've got this journaling card, and this was from one of those journal card books that I was using before, and these are going to hold sort of the 5, this is going to hold the 5 sort of main stories from this little collection. So every month I tend to do a page like this where there's all these little stories, and I just call it sort of my March memory page or April memory page, and all the little stories that would otherwise be missed get put onto these pages, so they're still treated, you know, as a special story to tell, which of course they are. I'm now working on the inside of that flip out page, and I'm just deciding where to position these pictures. So you can see 3 of them there have been framed, and then the others get backed with white paper, like I always do, just to make it stand out a bit from the background. I'm also backing this photo with some paper scraps. It's a good way to use your paper scraps and add a bit of colour to a page. Oh, and this one as well, I've got that beautiful rainbow paper that's from a Cocoa Vanilla pack, an old one I think. Yeah, just adds a bit of colour, almost looks a bit like washi tape I think. And then I'm going to stick down all of these photos. So with this rounded picture of me, that's a selfie of me, I've stuck double-sided tape in the middle, and then I've gone around that wibbly wobbly edge with some tacky glue just to make sure it's not moving anywhere. So there we go, I've skipped ahead and stuck down all of my photos. I'm then going through this Maggie Holmes sticker book, and I'm adding a couple of labels to some of the pictures. So like I said, some of these pictures are going to be labelled, some will be written about on the following page, which you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm now numbering the photos that don't have a label, and those numbers will correspond to this list on the front of this page. I wanted to write in these boxes, but I need a straight line to write on or it all goes wonky, so I'm just drawing some lines quickly for myself in pencil. I'll get rid of them later. So yeah, some of the photos have captions with a label next to them, and some of them have a number which correlates to this list here. And it's a way to journal about each photo while still making it seem a bit more cohesive. So because these are all, you know, backed with the same collections have been used to decorate the pages, it makes it more cohesive, so they're not just randomly stuck on a page. However, they are all very different stories. Yeah, it's just a fun page to do as well because there's no specific theme, so I can decorate as much as I want, as little as I want. Yeah. So I'm adding a little tag label piece from that paper repack that I used before. I've got the sticker book as well. I'm adding a couple of clear stickers. You can see I've already written in those labels now. So every photo now has their own little caption. When I flip onto the front, you'll see that that has been done on the front as well. Yeah, this is an easy way to write down all those little stories that otherwise get a bit lost, but you still want to remember them because they're still special. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye!